One thing I have been doing is writing down this week. It's a little slower. Earnings season's coming up. So I have taken today so far just to write down in the past, going through my career, some of my big mistakes, some of the things where I maybe felt like there's a few of them where I did my own research and I really felt like I knew what I wanted to do, and I let other people who I respect or just other things get in my head and change my opinion. I went against myself. And then there's a lot of suffering when that happens. There's when you lose yourself and you get sucked into some dogma or somebody else's way of being. It's very painful. And I just used used this morning to write down a few of them. I'll share a few of them with you. And another thing I read today that stuck out to me was show restraint even when you feel good. And that connected with me even when I'm playing tennis. I feel really good and I want to go really hard. Then I end up kind of injuring my shoulder or my knee, or I just exhaust myself. I get an exertion headache or something after. And that's just another, so let me kill this background noise here. And then you get, you overdo it. And I think it's important to show restraint when you feel good. And that's just a really cool thing. So I read that today and I like that because what it does is it leaves a little bit of momentum left to seize the next time you come out, next time you trade, and that could be going a little harder and a little less hard on your size. And of course, we want to push hard when we think we really see something to take advantage. But I think there is a subtle difference between doing that and going really hard on something when you feel good in a way that is a little bit unhealthy. So that's the differentiator there, so people can figure that out for whatever that means for them. So that's kind of the thing that I latched onto today. But back to the other topic about the mistakes. So in 2017, I was in crypto. In 2015, 2016, 2017, I had pretty good sized positions on because I was in early, and I had gathered a bunch of app data. I was tracking Coinbase downloads and all crypto app downloads in 2017. This is right before the blow off top. And around December and Christmas, I think the three of the top five or four of the top five apps in the entire Google and Apple ecosystem were crypto apps. Just ridiculous. Above Snapchat, Facebook, everything downloads, which is just completely insane. Excuse me. And I remember noting that and then thinking I see all my friends getting into the market late, having profits. And I took off a little bit of what I had on, but largely I stayed in my stuff and got hurt and gave back like a nice sized chunk of what I had made because I was just focused on getting caught up in what everyone else was doing and think, oh, maybe they're right, maybe there's more. And I knew I kept that data for a reason, and that was my exit signal, just to get out of everything. And I hung around too long and gave a lot back. And that was something that I went against myself, and I had a really good plan, and I hurt myself on that, and I'll never forget how that felt. And I've done this many times. I think all of us have, but there's a few big moments like that. And another one was when I was getting into stock trading more in 2016, I think. And I went on this path of researching all these themes and all these kind of dogma in a way, just because coming from futures, I was thinking, okay, how can I trade stocks and maybe learn something a little different? It's just a very different skill set. And as I was learning how to do that, I got stuck in reading about all these emerging themes. And at the time, it was I forget even what this was called. Some virtualization, or I can't remember, but there was a few companies that were changing something, the way the networks were working or whatever. And I took a big position and I kind of ignored the price action for a while, and it turned out to be a big loser. But I got so invested with research and study, which is a classic mistake, which is what I knew from trading that. But you could do something new and you feel like, you make the same mistakes in a new endeavor sometimes because you almost forget the lessons you feel like when you're in your field, you don't do it. But when you go in a new field, you start doing it again. So it's crazy how that happens. So that was in 2016. In 2021, in November, December, again, I had really good crypto positions on, well on the money, was doing very well, and ended up going on a big trip for a month with no stop orders in, and got lazy and too big a size on, and started getting nervous because I started seeing my friends downloading the Coinbase app, and that didn't even trade. And a lot of people were talking about it, and I just thought, oh, this isn't quite right. But I talked myself into thinking there's a big retail bulge of people coming into the market, and I still had time to go. And again, I ended up giving back a lot of open profits and kind of ruined some of my vacation, having to worry about that. And I also crossed my wires and started turning some trades into more longer term investments, which is a very blurry line to cross, stuff that I know better, and I did it anyway. And so going on vacation with that stuff on, put myself in a stressful position, getting caught in the group think and not paying attention to the subtleties of people around me who aren't trading, getting involved, just recapping. This is similar to the 2017 thing, but these are how big switches happen. And sometimes you're going to get out early and feel stupid, but you need to really protect yourself from that. So I think you can put this in any time frame you want, but these are some of the lessons I'm going over because I don't want to make these mistakes again. And they were costly and gave back a lot of good work that I did. So don't want to forget that pain. And I might even put this up on the wall for a while, but just remember kind of how that feels and not repeat it next time. And I've taken some measures I actually write down almost everything now that I do in terms of entry, exit, what I expect. I used to keep it all in my head, but when I'm doing a few different time frames and I have a lot going on, it's really easy to start forgetting things and making big mistakes. So that's a change I've made from this. So you always want to learn from it a little bit, but just wanted to share that today so other people could do the same thing.